Thursday's theme, no closing cost refinances. And today we're going to focus in on a VA IRRRL. What is an IRRRL? It's an interest rate reduction refinance loan. Yes, it's for VA loans specifically. I personally feel that the VA loan is the best mortgage product in the land. I might be biased. I'm a veteran-owned business, been in business for over 28 years. So let's talk about the VA IRRRL. I'll share some quick notes about it. There is some criteria you have to be eligible. One, you do have to have a VA loan. Two, you do have to have a benefit of at least a 0.5% lower interest rate or potentially switching from an ARM to a fixed. You do have to recoup all your closing costs in 36 months or less. So the VA makes sure that you're not being taken advantage of. You do have to have had the mortgage for at least 210 days from the date of your first payment. Okay. Um, and a few other things of note, you can roll in all of your closing costs. If you are exempt, you will be exempt from the VA funding fee. Ideally, your goal is to refinance, uh, pay all the closing costs, and if you can, also the VA funding fee potentially. The nice thing about the VA IRRRL, no appraisal, no income qualification, technically no credit score. You just have to have a 12-month mortgage history that's been essentially clean. It's a super simple loan, takes about 2.5 weeks to do. If you have purchased in the last 2 to 3 years, there's a high probability that a VA IRRRL even today could save you some money on a streamlined basis. So um, again, there's no appraisal needed. Let's go into some of that criteria. So and the cost. So if you look at a VA interest rates currently, okay, a 0 point loan would be roughly at 5.958 roughly, and that would entail paying all your closing costs and your VA funding fee if required. At 6%, you actually get 0.6% credit. This says zero point 0.2, but there's an extra 40 basis points with this lender. And at 6 1/8, it would be 1.3 credit. So let's kind of look at some of these dynamics here. So, and this is all based upon today's price, based on 6/26/2025. On a $600,000 loan at that 5.958%, if you were, let me double check if I have you exempt from the funding fee. I'm going to put not exempt to start with, not exempt from the funding fee. Closing cost would be um, roughly $4,900, and your VA funding fee is $3,000, so costs are about $7,900. That's at 5.958. You can roll that in. That's not the loan that I would do. Here at 6%, you would get a credit of $3,600 toward the closing cost. So your out-of-pocket cost would be about 4,302. You could roll that into the loan if you'd like. And then here at 6.124, essentially, you get a credit of $7,800, costs around $7,900. That is essentially a no cost. It's within $100 of your cost. So right now, depending on if you're exempt or not, in this scenario, if you were exempt, those closing costs actually go down by $3,000. Same interest rates at 5.958, you would be rolling in roughly $4,900. At 6%, you would only be rolling in $1,300. And at 6 1/8, you would actually make $2,800 roughly doing a streamlined IRRRL refinance. Now, remember, you do have to be a 0.5% higher rate to be eligible. So to be 6.124 6.24. You'd have to be at a 6.625 for it to actually be of benefit to you currently today. Here's the thing. Ideally, I'm okay if the credit covers the closing cost, and if we're only rolling in to the loan, the financing charges, if it is saving you money. Keep in mind, we still have the 36-month rule. I personally like a 9-month rule or less on a streamlined IRRRL. I like to refinance people and save them money either day one with no cost and covering everything, or within 9 months, ideally. Okay. My name is Kevin Retcher. I'm the owner of First Meridian Mortgage. If you have any questions about the VA IRRRL, it is one of my favorite loans to do. Today is Thursday's no cost refi segment. The VA IRRRL, remember, half point lower, streamlined, no appraisal, no credit qual, 210 days since your first payment, uh, and it's super simple to do to save money. So if you're sitting above 6.625, there's a high probability that you should either be getting ready to refi or give me a call and actually get it started. Kevin Retcher, owner of First Meridian Mortgage. You know what I'm going to say to all the Marines out there? Semper Fi. I'll talk to you soon. Phone number 703 799 5626. This was Thursday's no cost